Hello, my name is Stephen Burnett, and as my friends know, I've been an avid motor racer and motoring enthusiast for most of my adult life. Most of this time we've been able to collect a couple of interesting road cars as well, and during the summer when we don't have snow on the ground, we're able to drive these and exercise them along the country lanes around where we live. At the same time, we've managed to create an interesting private collection which doesn't get seen too often. It's sort of a fantasy garage, if you like. This is hidden away from view, kept underground, stored very carefully, and it consists of about 52 vehicles. Interesting collection of cars, I have to say. I should also comment, it's a bit of a jigsaw puzzle trying to figure out what makes sense in the collection, but that's part of the fun and I guess the challenge that we have. We have pre-war race cars, a couple of post-war race vehicles, a collection of wonderful GT cars, some open-top sports cars, a couple of little MGs and Triumphs, and then we even have some Land Rovers and, would you believe it, a couple of tractors. A while back we thought it would be interesting to share this dream garage with some of our friends, and to do that we've made a short film, which we hope you enjoy. It took some time to get the cars out of storage. We had to dust them off and start a couple of them. We needed a couple of boosting batteries, but we finally got it to the point where most of them were drivable and we could move them. As you can see, we've now taken them into another secret location where we are arranging the cars so that we can share this wonderful selection of vehicles with our friends. I would remind you that this location is totally secret, but we're happy to share it with you during this movie. So here we have an interesting Bugatti to start with, followed by a wonderful 1962 E-Type, and one of my favorite all-time race cars, the 325B Bugatti, just a wonderful pre-war race car. Next to the Bugatti is a slightly post-war BMW. I think it's a 328 open-top Tourer, beautiful machine with a fine engine. The engine was copied by Bristol, I believe. Our next car in the collection is the James Bond Aston Martin, a DB4 GT, just a wonderful car. Not that quick, but a marvelous car to drive. Behind that, we've collected one of the early Grand Prix cars, which was branded in the Yardley livery when Yardley was in the business of sponsoring motor racing. Behind that is one of our trusty old vehicles. It's a bit battered, but it's a wonderful old Land Cruiser which we've had for some time, a Range Rover. And we are happy to be able to present the Gilles Villeneuve Ferrari, a car that brought a great many gasps to Canadians as they saw that wonderful French-Canadian driver chuck it around. A Grand Prix car from Lotus in beautiful livery. You can see the wonderful V8 engine at the back and the Lotus suspension. And then one of my all-time favorites, an Ulster Aston Martin car, which would have raced at the eponymous races in Ireland during the Ulster Grand Prix period. A marvelous Aston Martin sports Tourer, which you can see a long Superleggera type of a model, and one that I'd love to have one of these days. Next to that is a wonderful 428 Cobra that was presented by three great friends, John, Claudette and Jim. They will remember traveling with me some time ago. And just in front of our storage unit is an XK 140 Jaguar and a magnificent 300 SL Mercedes, a wonderful pair of superb vehicles. Just behind you can see our old Land Rover, and get some idea of the storage unit where we secretly are holding all of these vehicles. It's a little bit deceptive. There's a lot of room behind. There's a basement, and we're able to bring even our post-vintage touring vehicles into the garage. In the foreground, coming into the foreground now, we have another wonderful Jaguar XK 140, one that we know very well, and next to it an interesting 328 post-war BMW open-top Tourer, very interesting car with a particularly robust motor. A Porsche Cayman, which I actually currently own. It's a different color, but a wonderful car to drive. And here we have a wonderful 1950s Corvette, which similar to the one my friend Steve in Detroit owns. A quick car, a little bit robust and good to throw around. That we have the old Morgan Plus 4 that was presented to us quite a while back by a local collector here in Kingston. Our collection has an eclectic mix. This is a Volkswagen Cabriolet, similar to the one that my wife drove, that Helene drove for quite some time, loved the car. And then on to another Grand Prix car. This is the wonderful Elf Renault Grand Prix with Labatt's Canada livery on during the years when Labatt's were in the business of sponsoring motor racing, which they were now. We're restoring an MG quite similar to the one in the foreground, number 3. You see, that's a TD. We have a TF in 1954. And just to the side, a wonderful Triumph TR2. Whoops, I think we left the driver in that car. Must have been there for a while. And in the background, coming into the foreground, is a rare Morris Oxford convertible. I think this was a custom job. I've never seen a convertible in the UK, but an interesting vehicle, and one that we owned quite some time ago, a Targa Porsche. Wonderful car, but a lot of wind noise at the Targa top, and our beautiful old Morris Mini Traveller van. So there it is. This is our dream garage, dear friends, a collection of vehicles we've assembled over quite a few years, and one that we hope to add to in the not too distant future. The challenge now is putting all of this wonderful collection back into its secret location and making sure that it's safe for, let's say, the next generation of motoring enthusiasts. In conclusion, let me say that some men see things as they are and ask why. Others dream things that never were and ask why not. With thanks to George Bernard Shaw.